Indians versus the Yankees. In some ways, one of our rivals in the American League. Drew, let's start with you here.
All right.
Do you think this is going to be one of the best MLB playoffs, or do you just think there's just too much going on?
Well, the Indians have to win this series for it to qualify, certainly, right? So, I'm sort of on record as enjoying these playoff series, right? I like this idea of an expanded playoffs with a 3-game series, right? I think it eliminates the really goofy 1-game playoff with wild card teams. I never liked that at all. And yeah, I think it's going to be good playoffs. I really enjoy baseball playoffs. On sort of the edge of my seat watching the games. This one might have been an exception to the rule, but because the Indians didn't start off all that great, and the ace pitcher didn't have his best stuff. It looks like today, so that's unfortunate, right? When you only have 3 games, if you lose the first one, you could be in a bit of trouble here, but I really like this playoff format. I hope this is something that stays. And, I think this can be one of the best sort of playoff series. I don't know if it can be the best because there's no fans in the stands, right? You don't get that sort of reaction. You don't get like the reaction not last year, like back in 2017, also against the Yankees. I think that was probably the best Indians team I've ever seen in my life. They were down in game 2, 8-3. And then Lindor hit a grand slam, and the place just went insane, right? So you miss that, and I think that's going to be a reason that this isn't one of the most exciting playoff series, because you don't have that type of just incredible emotional reaction to something that happens, right? But I really like the format, and I think if the Indians can get past the Yankees here, that I think it's going to be a very exciting playoffs. I think for the Yankees, that is always going to be a team that elicits a response, an emotional response from Indians fans, right? And I would sure like to be able to sort of avenge that 2017 loss. So if that happens, I think this can be a very exciting baseball playoffs. And if not, I'm still going to watch, because I still really enjoy playoff baseball. I don't follow as much in the regular season because it's 162 games, right? But when you get into playoff baseball, I think that's one of the most exciting, I want to say, type of games to watch, because you never know what's going to happen. The whole game can turn. Underdogs can win. Favorites can blow people out, or they can lose. You never know truly what's going to happen in playoff baseball. So I really enjoy it. I enjoy the expanded format, and if they can somehow get past the Yankees, I think the answer can be that this is a very exciting baseball playoffs to watch on TV.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of past years, I will not watch the baseball playoffs after the Indians are eliminated, or if they don't even make it, I'll just be sour grapes. I won't even watch it. Eric, what do you think? Are you going to, even the other games are going on at the very same time, are you more drawn to some of these other playoff games with the new format, or do you think you're going to be out as soon as the Indians could be out?
Yeah. I would definitely be in your boat as far as not really watching when the Indians are no longer in it, or not in it to begin with. But this year is an exception, as you had described. First, the Twins Astros. You got the cheaters against the mom and pops team. I never really liked to root for my in-division rivals, especially a team that's been kind of nipping at our heels / overtaking us the last couple years. But anytime to root against the Astros, I will. And then, you obviously have, I'm not even going to say, but I would root against teams that would defeat us if we get to that point. So that would be another opportunity to watch. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But and then you look at the NL, we got a couple teams that, with this expanded playoff format, you would not have seen normally, and have not seen in the playoffs for quite some time. A couple former Indians. You got Trevor Bauer led Cincinnati Reds, Mike Clevenger led San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres, as well as the Miami Marlins. 3 teams, like I said, normally wouldn't be seen in the playoffs. Don't really have a care one way or the other with any of them, but at least it's good to see new teams out there. Obviously, you're not going to see a full stadium or any fans in their stadium, but it's to see how they can react to finally getting an opportunity to participate in the playoffs. So that'll be something interesting to watch. Going back to the Indians, because this is a Cleveland, so I should probably go back to them podcast. But obviously, like we said, Bieber didn't have his stuff, and this is going to be kind of this microcosm of a season, I guess, if you want to call it that. 60 versus 162 is to show you that this team needs hitting, and pitching alone and hoping that you can get enough hitting to get by is not going to be the answer. And again, perhaps they can get by and somehow pull out the next two and advance to the future rounds, but their hitters have got to come through. At the beginning of the recording, I think you said 2 runs, and that seemed like very difficult to get. So they're going to have to step up if they want an opportunity to advance in this playoffs and make some noise, but they're not there yet.
Tough draw against Garrett Cole in this first game, but sorry to bring out the jump to conclusions, Matt, here on the Indians having a negative playoff experience. I know we still got a game left. I know that could be a lot of the adventure here, so that you actually have more of a series, and everyone has to play in this first round, even though you get to play at home if you're the higher seed. Everyone's got to play. There's going to be upsets. And I think that is going to make it a lot more interesting, even though there is a ton of competition with the NBA, with the NFL. So we'll see. I think it could be fun. I think compared to other years, it has a fairly good chance of bringing me in, even if the Indians don't make it past the first round.